So you're paying attention to your calories, you may even be logging them, and you cannot lose the weight. Okay, very, very common frustration. We're going to talk about it, how to tackle it, what it might mean, all that good stuff. But before we do, if you're new to the channel, I'm Tiffany. I'm a certified personal trainer, a nutrition specialist, and the name of this channel is Snatch Chat, and the purpose is to help you lose fat without losing your mind and to also save you some time. Okay, so definitely subscribe if you're new here. If you have been coming here and you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. I do put out videos every week, so yes, do that. And press like if you like the actual video, it helps a lot. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So when it comes to calories, this subject for some reason is very eluding to a lot of people, and people have a hard time with it. Okay, so let's talk about what people mean when they say I'm logging and I'm not losing any weight, and what they're really asking. Because the simple answer is, if you are logging your calories or you are trying to pay attention to your calories and you're not losing weight, then you're not doing it right. That's the simple answer, but that's not really what people are asking because that's clear. But in case it's not, that is what is happening. There is no debating that caloric deficit is the way to go. It's the only thing that will determine if you lose weight. Not debatable, it's science. So if you swear up and down that you are logging correctly and that you are tracking your calories on both ends, on the burning side and the intake side, and you're not losing weight, then you're wrong. Okay. Just to put it bluntly, you are not doing something correctly. So the real question really is, what is the disconnect? Okay, and I like to call these things disconnects because that's what they really are. So what I would say is the main thing that is happening is people are not logging things correctly, if they are logging, or they're not understanding the real portions of what they are eating. This is definitely where a food scale comes in, and I say it in almost every video because it's really that game changing, and it's an investment under $20 that everyone should just be using, okay, especially for weight loss. But what happens is that we assume that we're eating less than we are, and that's even for someone who is really skilled most of the time. So when you want to become an intuitive eater, or someone that has a good grasp on what a portion looks like, a lot of times that takes looking at food and portions over and over and over again to get that way. And that's why I always recommend the food scale to people, because I say once you get down your go-tos, okay, and what you eat on a regular basis on the food scale, you will know what 4 ounces, 6 ounces, 28 grams or whatever looks like in just a regular plate without the actual portion, and seeing it on the food scale. Okay, so that is like on the actual portion. What's I think is mostly happening with people is that they just don't know the portions. Now, the other side, okay, is that even if you are tracking correctly, okay, the actual tracking of your food doesn't mean diddly squat, really, if you don't understand how much you're burning. So you don't have to track both ends, but of course, tracking both ends is going to be the most helpful, because what happens a lot of times is when people start getting more active, okay, they start wanting to eat more, okay? It's just for fuel, and they just get a little bit hungrier. So if you are assuming that on either end, so let's say you are doing more exercise, okay, and you decide to just use that as your factor and not pay attention to the food side, and you just assume that you're eating the same as you were before, you may underestimate how many calories you're eating because you're working out more and you're eating more. So you may be offsetting, the deficit. On the other end, if you are eating less calories but you're not as and you're assuming that you're as active as you were before, but you're not, that can also offset. So the main solution really would be to just track your calories on both ends, okay? And just to be clear, none of this is 100%. So even the most, avid and disciplined tracker won't get it right 100% of the time, but it is the closest you're going to get to perfect when it comes to being more on point with your calories. Okay, so in the big scheme, keep it short. I won't go into super details. I have a ton of videos on calories, caloric deficit, and all of that. I have a guide that I've mentioned in a few episodes, and I will link that as well. So I have a wealth of information on calories because it's one of the things I focus on most. But for this video, I just wanted to really point out that when people say, and people say it all the time, they say, I've been tracking my calories and I'm not, getting the results that I want. So I have to tell them, well, you're not doing something correctly and there is a disconnect. So you either need to, rev up on the activity side, which is a time investment, or you need to tighten up on the actual eating side. Okay, and you can choose one or the other. The problem is that you have to be clear that the other, okay, is staying at the same level and not increasing or decreasing or whatever your actual goal is. So, for activity, you don't want it to be lower than usual, and then for eating, you don't want it to be more than usual if you are trying to lose weight. Okay, so that is pretty much the sum up as quickly as I can do it. It looks like I did it like 7 or 8 minutes, but I really just wanted to address this because it's like I do a lot of these topics on caloric deficit, and I feel people, are not grasping the reason that they actually aren't, achieving their goals when they do feel that they are paying attention to portion control. Okay, and then I will just end with what I say often, and what I kind of mentioned earlier is that, to be an intuitive eater, a lot of people want to go on this route and do this weight loss thing the natural way. And in natural, we're not talking about without any like surgery and stuff. We're talking about just wanting to eat better in general. And that doesn't work for a lot of people because when you don't know better, you don't do better. And a lot of people have been their whole lives not paying attention to food portions, don't know the calories of things, don't know the, fat portions and, all the breakdowns and what the food means. So you really have to get a grasp on all of this stuff, okay, in order to really understand how you can get to your goals, okay? So I just wanted to put that as a last sidebar. All right, so that's it for this video. Make sure you go to the description. I do have my caloric deficit guide in there. I also have some freebies down there, workouts, a couple of, you can get my kit with some nutrition and mindset stuff, all completely free. So definitely check out the link in the description. You can also check out my Amazon shop. I do have a shop on there and it has all my favorites. So the food scale I use, all that good stuff. So definitely take a look at the description. Make sure you like the video. And like I said, make sure you subscribe. Till next time, eat well, drink well, take care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. And I will see you next time.